Hello and welcome again to the PM Talk Show. This is Pat Marsh, your host. We're out here on beautiful Miller Lake and we are looking at healthy things that can be done to help save your lives and detect problems when you have them early on before they become larger problems. And we have with us today our guest, Miss Cheryl Klein. She is the regional manager for the Louisiana Campaign for Tobacco-Free Living. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, Pat. Thank you.
Glad to have you. I understand that you're planning a big event on November 14th, and can you tell us about that?
Be glad to. I'm working with the Louisiana Healthy Communities Coalition, and we're putting on our second annual Healthy Fest 2015, and it'll be held at the Hammond Recreational Center on Coleman. It's focusing on healthy activities for children, but also healthy screenings to make sure that everybody can get a free screening. Right. Everything about Healthy Fest 2015 is free. Okay. There's no cost for any of the screenings that we'll be providing or the children's activities that we'll be having, and we would like everyone to come out and explore the different screenings that we'll be offering.
Right. What are some of the types of screenings that you'll be doing?
Well, we have such a list that I had to actually write them all down. Mary Bird Perkins is going to be doing breast screenings, clinical breast exam and mammogram, and we do ask that you call a number which I'll offer later to schedule that, because it does take some time, and you can do it anytime between 10 and 2 on the 14th of November, but we do ask that you call to schedule a time so it doesn't back up and get crowded. Right. We'll also be doing oral screenings, which is an ENT doctor will be performing an exam of the neck and mouth area to make sure there's no cancers in the neck or mouth area. Okay. We'll be providing a colorectal kit. And that's to make sure that you don't have colon cancer. Okay. And this is the easy one. This is the one that you can take home. It'll detect any blood in the stool, and then you just send it back in, and they'll let you know if it's clear or if they want you to come in for a follow-up. Okay. And follow-up is not an issue here because Mary Bird Perkins has an arrangement with I guess it's still called Our Lady of the Lake in Baton Rouge, and they can help follow you all the way through if anything is determined by any of these screenings. We're also doing an HIV screening, vision screenings, stroke assessment, BMI, body mass index, blood pressure, and glucose.
Okay, BMI usually tells how much fatty tissue you have in your body.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much to tell you if you need to do a little bit more exercise or not.
Yeah, because the fat can lead to heart attacks and blocked vessels and all of that stuff.
Yes, definitely.
And I've often heard, coming up as a child and throughout my adulthood, that a heart attack is a silent killer. You never really know when it's going to happen, so it's best to prevent it than to wait and have it, correct?
Right, especially in women. It's very silent in women because we don't usually display the warning signs that a man might get when he's having a heart attack. A woman can have a heart attack and never have the tingling in the arm or some of the other traditional that we all think of as being heart attack symptoms.
Okay. And I think that's a good thing, too, because I see a lot of those types of advertisements on TV where the lady says, this is the one thing we can do better than men, that is to have a heart attack.
Right.
So it's best to have preventative measures, right?
And that's what the Healthy Fest is all about, is providing those free screenings so that we can get tested and we can find out what we can do to identify issues early on. The big key here is finding them early. Right. And by doing that and moving on with treatment, we have a much higher success rate at actually being able to address those issues.
Right, we're going to have a fun 5K walk. Who is that being sponsored by?
Dr. Finley, a local doctor who last year also did the walk before Healthy Fest, and they did it in Zamurray Park last year, but this time they've decided they want to do it in the community, so they've actually blocked it off in the area around the rec center, and then she'll come back and be doing the glucose testing for blood sugars.
Right? Okay. Do you have any stats on how many well, let me ask you this first. Men can get breast cancer as well, can't they?
Yes, they can. And as a breast cancer survivor, I just learned this week that my uncle had breast cancer. So yes, and I was shocked, but it is definitely a possibility for men. So it's not something for them to think, oh, I can't get that. It's a very small percentage, but men can get it.
How old is your organization, and how long have you been directly involved with it?
The Louisiana Healthy Communities Coalition is only about 2 years old. In Region 9, we actually started in January of last year, and were able to begin action planning and trying to determine what we wanted to do in the various parishes throughout the region. And identifying folks that can be active in planning activities that are specific to their parish is very important.
Okay. When you look at what's going on with, I see you're going to be doing HIV testing as well.
Yes, the face-to-face enrichment program out of Baton Rouge will be doing that.
Okay, and that's very important too, because you have a lot of drug use, a lot of illicit sex and what have you that's going on.
Right.
You never know who's been with whom before.
And that's just one of those things you have to realize you must get checked, because if you've had a partner that you may not know, you need to get it checked. And we're doing it very discreetly. It'll be actually done inside the rec center, not outdoors where the rest of the events will be. So you don't have to worry about going to get that testing.
Okay. What is the 800 number to call to this is, I'm assuming, to Maryburg Perkins?
Yes.
Appointment to have breast cancer test done.
Right. For the breast screening on November 14th, please call 888-616-4687 to make an appointment anytime during 10 and 2 that day, so that when people are coming in, it can be very flow very easily and not bunch up with people, and then you feel like, well, I'm not going to stay and all that.
Yeah.
If you have an appointment, then you can be seen and have all of the screenings done.
So it's pretty much first come, first served. Pretty much. I mean, you don't want to
With the appointments,
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sure that if we are full up during that 10 to 2 time frame, that they will consider scheduling after that.
When you talk about tobacco-free, you care to elaborate on that?
Well, my organization that I have been with for 11 years is the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Living, and we've been working to do education about smoke-free environments, about the dangers of secondhand smoke, and even third-hand smoke now. And we've been working to also have smoke-free working environments. In 2006, the Louisiana legislature passed a law that said that all workplaces had to be smoke-free, so that at least when you're inside working, you have a smoke-free environment. The 2 exceptions were freestanding bars and gaming or casinos. So what we've been working to do is close that gap so that we can have everybody working in a smoke-free environment. And I'm very proud to say that Hammond did pass an ordinance earlier this year which made all of the freestanding bars, the Crescent, Kate Street, Benny's, they're all smoke-free now, and the reports that I've heard back from not only the owners but as well as patrons, everybody's loving it.
Good, that's great, that's great. When you look at Louisiana Healthy Community, the Louisiana Healthy Communities Coalition, I'm sure you're saying this is throughout Louisiana.
Yes, it is.
Your district is in Florida parishes.
Mine is the Florida parishes, right. And we meet monthly in Hammond. It's kind of the central area, but we meet on the 3rd Wednesday. We'll actually be meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
And we do it right behind the health unit here on Club Deluxe, and in the permits building at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Do you
We'd love to have people.
participation with people, or this is just for your organization?
No, this is for any and all organizations that want to participate in providing healthy activities. Our focus for the Healthy Communities Coalition is obesity, We really want to address issues that will reduce our obesity rate in the state and in our community, as well as address tobacco issues and get the word out about cancer prevention.
Okay, when you talk about free food, you're talking about healthy food, right?
Absolutely, it has to be healthy food. This is the Healthy Fest.
Yeah. Okay, so, and that is free as well.
Yes.
You also have a gospel music showcase provided by the local churches in the area. Do you know any of the names of the churches that will be singing?
Well, that's the part where Mr. Marshall would be able to help us, and that has been something that he's been working very directly with. So I'm afraid we'd have to defer to his participation.
Okay. The 5K run, I'm sure tennis shoes, comfortable clothing.
Absolutely.
That sort of thing. And it begins at what time?
The 5K starts at 9, and then the Healthy Fest at 10.
Okay, and it'll end at 2 o'clock.
Right.
Okay. I had a call from a friend in North Louisiana, and I told her, excuse me, that I was coming to do an interview with you. And she said, do they do it all over Louisiana? And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll ask her on camera when she sees. Maybe she can give your contact information would be on the screen. Would that be a problem with someone calling you from outside of the Florida parish?
Not a problem at all.
Okay.
There's about 9 regions throughout the state. Each one of the regions is doing different events to address issues in their communities. As far as I know, Region 9, the Florida parishes, is the only one doing a Healthy Fest. They are, however, doing other activities that also focus on healthy issues throughout the state.
Okay. Well, are there any closing comments that you'd like to give, inviting the people to come out? We certainly are happy to have you as a guest today.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me and helping us get the word out.
Oh, sure.
We want to encourage everyone to come to our Healthy Fest 2015 and take good care of yourself. Come on out, get those screenings done. Doing it now can help save lives, yours or maybe a family member's. I also, as a breast cancer survivor, want to encourage you to be sure and get your mammograms and get that tested, because that's how my cancer was found, and that's my goal now, is to make sure that every woman realizes how important it is to get your mammogram every year.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for being our guest. We look forward to maybe a subsequent visit to tell about the success of the program.
Would love to do that.
If there be any, and I'm sure there will be, because this is free screening for your health. Come out and join us on November 14th, 9 a.m. for the walk. The fest starts at 10 a.m. and there are a lot of the things that you can be a part of on that day. We're going to a break and we'll be right back.
Nearly half of all public school children in the United States have tried drugs or alcohol by the time they're 13 years old.
A third of teens have gone to house parties where there was alcohol, pot, cocaine, ecstasy, or prescription drugs.
Over half of kids say it would be easy for them to get pot if they wanted some.
7 out of 10 teenagers have been offered an illegal drug.
Teenagers whose parents talk to them about drugs are 42% less likely to use drugs.
Get your kids the truth about drugs. drugfreeworld.org.
Welcome back to the PM Talk Show. This is Pat Marsh, your host. During the first half, we were talking to Miss Cheryl Klein, who is the regional manager for the Louisiana for Tobacco-Free Living. And we were talking about a health fest that will be happening November 14th at the Recreational Center on Coleman Street here in Hammond. We have with us for the second half of this program our guest, Councilman for District 4 in Hammond, Lamar Marshall. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
I'm doing okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah, he's tall. I have to knock him down at the knees to get him down to my height. But anyway, you have something that's coming to Hammond that's going to be beneficial to the community as a whole. You want to tell us a little bit about
Well,
it?
yeah, Pat. And so this is actually the second year. So
Yeah.
We have the Healthy Fest, which is really a collaboration between the Louisiana Healthy Community Coalition, which I'm a member of, and we've also worked with the different various churches in the community, as well as the city of Hammond, Mary Bird Perkins, and some other, we have a few other sponsors that we've been working with, but the whole concept was, basically it came from the Louisiana Healthy Community Coalition. How can we really reach out and create a more, give more access to health care to people who may not have access to health care. And, and we thought about, well, if we could, and we were focusing on the African American community. And so we thought the best place to go would be in the churches. And so we know that many churches try to have health fairs and not able to really, with resources, able to do a health fair at the size that we thought we can do that at. So we thought, what if we combine all the churches' health fairs and make that into one, and bring in more resources so we can impact more people, and kind of mirror what happens in Baton Rouge behind Mayor Kip Holden's vision he had in Baton Rouge, and so that's what we did. So it started last year. I think we had over 500 people to attend. We have over 30 vendors to participate, and it was a very, very, very successful. So this year is our attempt to do that again and build on that and continue to grow the Healthy Fest.
Okay, is this for young people as well?
Well, it's for everybody. And really is, we're just trying to do two things. We're trying to give people who don't have insurance access to some screenings that they might need to decide or to find out their health status, as well as bring out vendors who are in the healthcare industry that can also reach and touch people and hopefully help them to connect so that we can get more people, obviously involved in healthcare.
When you talk about targeting African American people, we know that we are the biggest risk factors for some of these diseases, but it is open to everybody, black, white, whatever.
Yes, it's open to everybody who wants to come, but we're looking at trying to get the biggest bang for the buck. And we knew, and Charity Gay, who at that point was over the coalition, her vision was, let's reach out into the community where we know we have the least amount of serve, well, we can serve the most or have the biggest need. And so that was what the group decided to do. But we didn't want to make it a African American event. It's for anybody who wants to come, but we are targeting to reach the group that tends to not be reached as much.
Yeah, because a lot of times African Americans don't have the sufficient health care.
Absolutely.
And another thing, when these diseases come, they reach out and touch anybody that they can.
It doesn't know race.
Yeah, no, it just touch you, and you have it.
That's right.
Okay, you say this is a tobacco-free event. How important is the message getting out to the people, do not smoke?
Well, Cheryl Klein who's over the Tobacco Free Living Group in our area, serves on the committee as well. And obviously a big focus on what we do on the Healthy Community Coalition is to really promote tobacco-free events. And they've been doing that for quite some time. I've been on the board only for a couple of years, and one of the initiatives that we had this year was to see if we can make more cities tobacco-free, in the workplace, to get rid of the secondhand smoke in the workplace. So we took on what I thought was an enormous task, and I was proud of Hammond. Our city council agreed that this is something that we should do. It wasn't an easy lift, but it happened. And now I'm proud to say that I think Hammond was the 9th city in the state of Louisiana to go tobacco-free in the workplace, including the areas that were carved out during the 2006 law that was passed.
Okay, go Hammond.
So Hammond's on the map.
Yeah, it is. How important, or can you explain how important not being involved with secondhand and thirdhand smoke is?
Well,
or is it worse than first?
Well, I can just tell you from a layperson's perspective. Secondhand smoke is toxic. It's not like we think it is. We have research that states that secondhand smoke is dangerous. So it's not a matter of just you as a person who smokes impacting your own life, but whenever there's smoke in an environment, especially in an enclosed environment, you're affecting the lives of everybody in that space.
Right.
So I saw it as a workforce issue, as a workplace issue rather, and we wanted to make sure that we can improve the quality of the workplace, and that was my main focus for trying to introduce introducing the ordinance and then working to get it passed.
Okay. Are there any closing comments inviting the people out to good gospel music and free food?
Well, yeah, we're going to have, I know we're going to do this for sure. Walmart's going to be there.
Okay.
Walmart's going to be bringing out their healthy food selection.
Okay.
Albertsons is going to be there. They're going to be bringing out their healthy food selection. So the whole concept is that we're creating this kind of like a grocery store concept where you can go shopping.
Okay.
And so they're going to introduce different items in their grocery store that they sell that are healthier choices, and even try to do some recipes that will help some of the people that are there learn how to cook. Like last year, we had a low sodium gumbo that they made at the event, which went over very well. So I'm kind of anticipating that those will be some of the things we'll do this year. So it's not going to be like a meal. It's going to be able to test different items, and we should get filled off of those things. And also, you know, I just think it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a chance to fellowship. We're going to have Dr. Mabry, who's also on our committee, is working on the choirs. I know that we have, you know, my church, Beacon Light Baptist Church, is going to be there performing. I think Macedonia is also going to be performing.
Okay.
And then Bickham Chapel, I think it is up in
Velma.
In Velma, the big city of Velma.
Yeah.
They're going to be here also. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It should be good fellowship. It should be a good time it should be a nice day, hopefully. We'll get a chance to spend time together, you know, to learn about healthier living, which we all can benefit from, and just really have a good day in Hammond.
Okay, you have a son. Your oldest son, I think, is a chef. Will he be out?
Well, he'll probably be working.
Okay.
Because, he's down in New Orleans working at GW Finn's, and I think he's probably going to be
Saturday and all.
working. Yeah, he won't be here.
Yeah. Well, certainly we look to have a good time. And do you have any closing comments?
Well, just thank you, Pat, for what you do for our community. You know, I know you have a heavy lift, what you're doing out there to kind of make things relevant for everybody, but, you know, we appreciate what you do, and we appreciate you giving us a chance to bring this talk about the Healthy Fest and make sure that more people in your audience comes and has a chance to participate in the event.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, and
Thank you.
thank you for coming, and we want to know, don't eat my food. Don't eat my food.
Okay.
This is Pat Marsh, your host for the PM Talk Show, and you all heard it. He's not going to eat my food because I do plan to be there and take part of some of the tests that will be done. And we encourage you to do the same thing because you only have one life. Let it be a healthy life. This is Pat Marsh, your host for the PM Talk Show. We want to thank you for joining us again. Please continue to do so. Remember that knowledge is powerful. Knowledge does matter. Thank you, and God bless.